are you guys doing today? My name is Anima, and today we have a post-commentated Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battle for you all, this time against the Skyrander, one of my favourite human beings in the universe. His YouTube link will be in the description down below, if I can remember how to talk. He is an excellent battler, uses very unique and interesting sets with considered it's considered weirdness though. He wants to try weird things, and more often than not he does succeed in surprising his opponents and pulling off some weird sweep or whatever. His Pokemon are really cool, and if you want something a little bit different and very interesting, go and check him out please. There will be a question of the day at the end of the video. Can we get this battle up to 50 likes? That would be insane! Is it even possible? You decide at the end of the video. Anyway, without further ado, let's hit play, and you'll see what I saw, ladies and gentlemen! Yuck! So he's going to be issuing that challenge. I have an advantage on him because I watch his videos so much, so I know this team pretty much inside out. So he's going to lead with Zerathul, the specially defensive max HP assault vest Malamar, and I'm going to lead with my Torkoal. I want to burn this thing immediately, so I went for the Lava Plume, trying to chance that burn. I am actually Modest Nature this time. I changed my Torkoal's nature. I'm now Modest, max special attack, max HP. Didn't go for the rocks because I wanted to burn this thing. We do succeed in burning the Furfur though, which actually isn't useful at all because this is a special attacking Furfur, and I know that, and I know it has Surf, so I went into my Cacturne predicting that, and he was probably just like at this point. But I did actually predict the out switch, so I went for a substitute as he goes for the Hyper Voice. Just trying to get as much damage output out of this thing as possible. He probably didn't see it coming in handy with it being burnt and everything, so I go for the Sucker Punch, just trying to finish it off. If he kept going for Hyper Voice, he would have started doing more and more damage. Oh wait, no, Echoed Voice. It was Echoed Voice, right? Echoed Voice is the one that keeps building. I'm pretty sure that was Echoed Voice. Anyway, we're able to take down Beard Fist, the famous Beard Fist, I love Beard Fist, with a Sucker Punch, and it is going to go down, which is extremely nice. Out comes Zerathul, who wants to set up on me. I'm feeling going to go for that superpower, I suppose, but we are going to be able to get off a neutral Sucker Punch, and that does a good, solid amount of damage. We are going to have our substitute faded away by the superpower, but this is okay because we did a gigantic chunk of damage to Zerathul. We just needed to pave the way for someone else to come in. I know a combination of Rotom's Air Slash, Specs Air Slash, and Floatzel would be enough to take down this thing. Either way, we're going to go into Tiki, anticipating the next superpower, and that's very useful indeed. But my opponent does go for the Rock Slide, predicting the out switch, which is very interesting. Probably expecting the Torkoal, expecting it to be the standard physically defensive set. And out comes Actros, I think that's how you say it. Going for the Choice Banded U-turn because I know all your sets, Sky. And that does a surprising chunk of damage. It is a Choice Banded Dedenne, you heard it here. That's the kind of shit this man uses. And we're going to go for the Psyshock as he predicts that extremely nicely, going into Zerathul again to be completely immune to the blow. We go for that Yawn, trying to put this thing to sleep. And this Night Slash is going to be enough to kill us, but I do know this thing is going to be asleep next turn, which will severely hamper its effectiveness. So we go into Entei because I know he's fearing Entei. Well, he knows he can't really scratch me that well. Not until he's got to +1 or +2, so we're going to go for the Stealth Rock as he actually predicts that, going into Hector the Knockdown, who, from the way it's been brought in, I know it has Defog, so I'm going to switch out Entei, go into somebody more appropriate like my Lifesaver. I can Ice Punch this thing to death. I went into Lifesaver instead of my Rotom just because I know these things are typically specially defensive, so I thought an Ice Punch would do more damage. And it does a gigantic amount of damage. I actually haven't seen a Noctowl take that much damage, so it's a bloody miracle to me. So he's going to go for the Nightshade, just to try and get some damage off before he dies. And we're going to go for the second Ice Punch. Sky has a, Sky's teams seem to be kind of weak to ice because he likes to use powerhouses that are quite weak to ice. Ice is a very strange offensive type. It's really not very defensive, but it's very handy. And I say this because in the last battle I had a very annoying little Frogadier with Ice Beam, and it was very upsetting for him, I think. So he's going to go for the U-turn, catch my Torkoal. This Dedenne is like, I need to like grab it because it's just whizzing around and being overall very mean to me. But Optimus Prime is going to come in And I am a bit upset by this, but I decide to just stay in and go for my rocks because I believe I can take this thing out through other means. I know I can live at least one earthquake just because Torkoal is extremely physically bulky naturally, and we're able to get off these rocks. This is to punish the Dedenne, punish all these switches that happen, because he is switching a lot, and he goes for the Shadow Punch, which will kill me. It's the better decision, because it would have been... No one could really resist the EQ. No one would have been able to handle it if I'd switched that into my Rotom Fan to try and be immune. So he's going to switch out, fearing the Ice Punch, goes into Groot, who is not going to take the Ice Punch either. Perhaps he was fearing the Water type move specifically. So Groot is not going to take this Ice Punch very well at all. I think this is a specially defensive Go-Go with Bulk Up, I think, but I'm not completely sure. Either way, we're going to get off the second Ice Punch. That's going to be enough to take out Groot. I find with Sky, like, you need to be extremely offensive, I think, because if you let his Pokemon build, if you let his Pokemon set up, they will fuck you over. They will fuck you over. They really, really will. They're very dangerous. So, I go into my Rotom Fanny, just because I want to preserve my Floatzel, and I'm fearing what would happen without it, what would happen without my Ice Punch. And I go for the Shadow Ball because it would do, you know, neutral damage to this thing, and it would be very useful. So I want to preserve my Rotom because I know I can do some more work with the Air Slash and so on and so forth. So I go into Puddin, who I feel can take a hit from this thing, and are you seeing how much damage these play roughs are doing? Like, seriously, it's kind of upsetting, you know? But this next play rough is going to land. He's hitting all his play roughs. He does get a critical hit, which may or may not matter. Either way, I mean, it happens. And we're going to go for the knockoff, getting rid of the Choice Band, which is actually kind of annoying. I was really hoping it would actually just die, but it doesn't, because Audino's attack stat is terrible. And Dedenne's a Fairy type, obviously, so Akatros is going to go down to the recall from the Wild Charge, which is actually really nice. We've finally gotten rid of this thing. It wouldn't have lived from another iteration of Stealth anyway, so... out comes Zerathul, and I go into my Fanny, going for that Choice Specs Air Slash, just trying to kill this thing, and we end up getting the flinch, which is a little bit frustrating for him. But I mean, he did get a crit earlier, so the hacks is fairly even in this match. I would have lost my Fanny, though, if he had managed to power through the flinch. So out comes Optimus, and we just have to go for Air Slash because we are locked in. We're going to do a gigantic chunk of damage, though, all things considered. I do believe this... Actually, are you Assault Vest? I feel like this Golok is also Assault Vest, but that would mean he's running 2 Assault Vest Pokemon. I'm not completely sure, but in my knowledge of Optimus, it is an Assault Vest Golok. Either way, he went for the Drain Punch because it would kill me, and he'd get a little bit of health back. He's trying to brace himself for the Ice Punch that's incoming, and it is going to be enough to take down Optimus. Optimus is such a cool Pokemon, it truly is. Life Saver is going to take a schmick of damage from the Life Orb Recall, and that is going to be the game! So thank you, Sky, thank you so much for the battle, guys. Please, please, please go and check him out. He is really just so good. He is really just so good, and he's a long time kind of YouTube friend of mine. And he's just like a really great guy. Honestly, you really just should check him out. You really, really, really should. Anyway, today's question of the day is going to be, what's one Poketuber you would absolutely love to battle? So that's what's one Poketuber you would absolutely love to battle. If you like battling but aren't really interested in participating, what's a Poketuber you would like to meet in real life, or you know, just whatever really. I'm not going to say who mine is, because there's a little surprise coming up in store. And I really do hope it happens. I really do hope it happens. I'm very, very nervous for it. Anyway, I'm not going to spoil you though. I'm just going to give you that little nugget in there so everybody's excited. Hopefully this video goes up before the potential whatever happens. Anyway, let's not spoil things too much. I do hope you enjoyed this game. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you soon, my friends. Bye-bye!